Hi guys! So for today's Craft With Me video, I want to share with you guys a project that I've been working on, and I'm calling it Accordion Fold Labels. So it's a whole set, and I just thought that this concept was super cute, and this is what it is. You can fold it accordion style. It is perforated on each end, so you can tear them apart if you'd like. But here's what it is. I made this one kind of a specimen themed, but you can open it like a little booklet. You bring it up closer. And then on the opposite side, I did stamp and decorate it just a tiny bit, just so that it has something on the back. And I love it. I love, love, love it. It's so much fun. So here it is, all folded out. Isn't that neat? And because I was trying to figure out a way to keep them shut, I did it. You guys know I love my eyelets. And so what I did was I just punched holes on the top, got my eyelets in and got the string and closed it shut. And I think that this is adorable. And so I made this one, and then I went ahead and made another one with the Tim Holtz mini paper dolls, which we're going to be using again today. So that's this one. And so I love it. And I wanted to share this with you guys because it's so much fun to make. So let me share with you guys the paper that I'm using. I'm going to be using, this is called Concrete. This is the color and this is the brand that I used. This is from Walmart, and I bought this whole pack, and it's 50 and it's 65-pound paper, and it has all of these natural, it's called naturals. So all of these natural tone paper in it. And so with this one I actually used, I believe it was the, let's see, I think it was the husk or the grosser craft, I don't know. But anyways, this one I'm using the concrete color. So I thought that'd be fun. And then I'm going to be using paper from my Ephemera paper studio pack. And I did haul this from Hobby Lobby, so if you guys missed that and want to see the papers that are in here, I did go through the whole pack. So I'll link that video below. So I've already cut into it, but this is the paper that we're going to be using. I just thought that it looked really pretty with the gray. And so it's just the Atlas globes, maps on it. And so I wanted to use this. Let's get started in the measuring and cutting. So I've already cut into this, but this was an 8.5 by 11 sheet. And so the bottom layer, we're gonna cut at 3 inches, and that's gonna be the width or the length of our labels. And so I just thought that 3 inches was a good size. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, and we're gonna start folding accordion style. The accordion base layer is what I'm gonna call it. So we're gonna fold it at 1.5 inches. And so accordion folding is just scoring it one side, flipping it over, and scoring it on the other side. So we're gonna do at 3, flipping it over, at 4.5, flipping it over, at 6, flipping it over, at 7.5, flipping it, at 9, flipping it, and 10.5. Okay, now this little strip here that we have left over, we're gonna get rid of that. Looks like I didn't even score that right. Let me see. Is that? Yeah. It looks a little crooked on here, but we're gonna take that part off. I had to bring out my big paper trimmer. Okay, so now that we have this, we're going to go ahead. Let me put this out of the way. I already made a mess here. So we're gonna start folding and creasing. And then you're gonna turn it around, fold, try to get the corners matched up, and then we're gonna crease. And then again, folding. It's not gonna fold up exactly. If you guys get it to fold up, let me know your tricks if you get it to fold up exactly, because I made so many of these already and each time it wasn't coming out exactly, but we're gonna get it as close as we can and just make sure that we get that down. I am going to, perforate, just so that if I want to use them in the future, I can. So I'm going to, let's see, let me just get a couple of these. I didn't bring my, of course, I'm missing something, but we're gonna accordion, not accordion, we're gonna perforate them because I want them to be able to. So I'm using this tool, guys. I'm using the Tim Holtz Tonic Studios, and this is the little perforation tool. I think this is the mini one, and I got this on Amazon, so I'll link what I can below. But all I'm gonna do is just run it down each of the folds because I do want to be able to use them. Did I cut that? Yeah. I do want to be able to use them and cut them apart if I want. I know I am probably cutting through the other paper behind it, but it's fine. And let's see, just a couple more, just line it up. And this is optional, you guys, if you guys want to keep it. If you guys want to keep it all together, you can, and you can skip this part. But I just thought that this was fun. And then like that, if you want to tear them apart, you can, and use them individually. So now that we have that done, we're going to use our corner punch, I said that weird, and I'm going to use the medium one. So we're just going to corner punch all of these corners, and then we're going to fold and do the same thing. And I'll be letting you guys know about all the supplies that we're using as we're going along. So just want to cut these up real quick to get that label shape. Almost done. And I am going to be inking it because I have to. And last one. Okay, let's get this out of the way. I don't need these anymore. Put those off to the side. And let's just ink this real quick just so that we can get this bottom layer done. I am going to be inking both sides, but again, all of this inking, guys, it's totally optional. Ooh, but I love the way this looks. The ink that I'm using is, what is this? Walnut stain. And it is the ink, not the Distress Oxide. So I'm going in between, and I'm also doing the creases. This looks really good with the gray. So we're just gonna go through and do this real quick. So I had been wanting to make something like this for a while, and because I've been trying to get, you know, gather my thoughts and try to figure out what exactly I want to share and what makes me happy, because I think that's the overall thing, right? Make things that make you happy. And I mean, you guys know from my dangle collection, which by the way, you guys sold me out in one day. That was amazing. I am so thrilled that you guys liked it. And I'm gonna be honest, I was a little nervous. I thought that maybe this wasn't gonna be as popular as the other ones because of the color scheme that I kind of went with. Because I know that we like, you know, more vibrant colors when it comes to our dangles and stuff. And I wasn't sure, but you guys proved me wrong again and sold me out in one day, which was amazing. So thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone who's ever bought any of my dangles and who have been favoriting my shop as well, so that you guys get notified every time I list new items there. So thank you for that. Okay, so we're done with this. So doesn't that look cool? Okay, so we're gonna put this to the side because we're done for now. And then we're gonna get our paper, and this is gonna be the top layer. And this one we're going to cut at 2 3/4. Let's see if this is even gonna be long enough. If not, I might have to get another 2 3/4 right here. Okay, barely enough. So let's cut this at 2 3/4. Come on, what happened? I'm telling you, I need a new, look at that. Okay, now we're gonna cut at 1 1/4. We're gonna cut 1 1/4 strips from this. So each little strip is gonna be 2 3/4 by 1 1/4. Okay. And so we're gonna cut this. And if you guys want to do it, both sides. What is happening here, guys? Let me get that out of the way. Let's see. I am going to be decorating both sides. So you are going to want to get enough. We'll count them in a minute to see. I'm having a time with this. My goodness. Look at that. This is real life, guys. No editing here. No editing here. And seems like starting in the middle seems to work a little bit better. And then the last one, you're gonna have a little bit of a strip left. So that's here. Ugh, we're not even gonna deal with it. Don't have the time. Okay, so here are your strips. Look at that. Look at how, oh Lord. Okay, we're gonna fix that later. But these we're going to corner punch all of them. So I'm just getting a couple at a time because my corner punch isn't as strong. So we're going to corner punch all of them so that they match up with the bottom layer. I love how these corners, they just shoot out at me. By the end of the day, after I finish crafting and I use corner punches, I'm full of all the little corners all over my clothes. And I always end up having a big mess that I have to sweep up after. But I love it. So what do? You deal with it. Just get all these little tidbits off of me. Okay, now I am going to want to ink them, but lucky for you guys, I already did, so that you guys wouldn't have to go through and watch me ink all of the little top layer labels. So these are, let me see, we're gonna count them, how many. So it's gonna be 2 for each one. So it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So we're gonna need 14 of the top layer so that we can decorate both sides. So let's go ahead and start putting these down. So normally, if I'm going to be using a lighter weight paper, I would probably use my glue stick just so that it wouldn't warp it and you couldn't feel the little glue on the back, because apparently that's what happens to me. Don't know if it happens to everybody. But like if I were to do like lines like this of glue, then you would actually see it and feel it on the top of the paper. But because this is more of a cardstock, I'm gonna use my art glitter glue. And again, I'll try and link what I can of all the supplies that I'm using down below so that you guys can get easier access to what I'm using in case anybody's interested. So we're just gonna put these in, try to get them a little bit centered. So we're just gonna keep going. And we're gonna do both sides. And these are really, really fun. They're super easy. So I hope you guys give them a try. I know that you guys have mentioned that other projects that I've done, that you guys are already going out to buy the supplies to make them, and that makes me so happy that you guys enjoy it that much, that you guys want to go out and buy the supplies to recreate what I've made. So you guys, I can't thank you guys enough. You guys are so good to me. You guys are so nice. So let's just keep going. I woke up with a little bit of a sore throat this morning. So if you guys hear me crack a little bit, I apologize in advance. You know, even though my paper trimmer has been giving me ragged edges for my projects, I'm not mad about it because it actually looks kind of cool. You know, that you get those ragged edges. But these strips that I'm gluing down right now that I've already inked, these I actually cut them with the perforation tool. What I did was I lined it up on my scoreboard, and everywhere where I was supposed to cut, I just ran the perforation tool, the perforated tool. And by the time I was done, all I had to do was rip them apart. But I just thought that that was a little bit too much, and then not everybody has one of those tools. Of course, you can use the sewing tool that's like a little wheel. So you guys can use those as well. And I've used that even before I got my little Tim Holtz tool. So look at that. Doesn't that look cool? That looks so cool. So we got them done on both sides. Now is the fun part. We are going to decorate it before we put the punches in. So to decorate, I brought out my Curator snippets and my Ephemera snippets. And then, of course, because I want to use my mini Tim Holtz dolls, I have those. And I also brought out the collage strips. And I thought, I had talked about this when I hauled it, that we can actually cut these apart and use these as little snippets too, little ephemera pieces. So, you know, we can do that. So if I want like a certain color or something, I can cut it apart. So I brought my scissors out, so let's see. First, I like to kind of plan it out. So one side is gonna have the paper dolls, the other side we're gonna be stamping. So let me figure out which dolls I want to use. So this is the part that's just a tiny bit more time consuming because I'm just trying to get ones that are standing. And let's see, we can even do little girls. Take out their little pieces there. That's cute. And that they're single. They're single. Let's kind of break this up a little bit. I want to put a girl, a little girl. And then, yeah, we'll do that. And then let's see what else. Don't know. Oh, she's cute. Put her. And then I want another lady. Oh, she's cute too. Let's just put, I need a standing lady. Do you want her? I feel like, let's see. Which other ones do we have? I don't want anybody sitting because those are a little bit harder to put in, especially because you have very limited. Oh, her. Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So can you see? I have it all laid out of who I'm gonna put where, and then let's start using the, put this aside, using our little ephemera snippets. I am going to take out my tweezers so that we can see, let's see, maybe this peachy color, maybe some of the green, the yellow. No, not beige, because we already have more of a beigey background. I'm just trying to see which ones I might want to use. The blue would be fun. So we might use blue. Guess we could use red. Ooh, purple. Should we make them different colors? That might be cute. Okay, let's do the first one with red. And let's see what we could use. Let's see. Maybe use the numbers. Trying to get it right on the line. And then I like this little ticket here. And let's see, should I take out this little remembrance of things? Let's take that part out. Okay, so for her, let's see. How do we want to do this? I kind of like to lay out my, yeah, that looks cool. And then maybe I should put this a little further down so that we can put her flowers up here. I could cut it down, but I feel like everything's on that side. You know what I mean? So let's see. We could do that. I like it. Okay, let's do that. I am going to be inking. So let's just try to take off just a little bit of the white. And then I think I need to take off this little piece here. Yeah, we can put this right on the top. Let me get my tweezers. I feel like my placement is better when I have my tweezers in my hands. Okay. And then we can put this one put this here. And then we can put the little girl here. Let me just take off just a little bit of the white that's showing around the corners. And then we're gonna just glue her down. Take off that little bit of glue. Let me bring you guys in just a tiny bit. Let me see if this is gonna work. Yeah, much better. So like that, you can guys get a better view of what's happening over here. Okay, so that's red. And then let's do blue for her. So let's see. What do we want? I kind of like this little ticket up here. Do we want to use the sentiments that are there? Let me see. Should we use sentiments? Do you guys like using the little sentiments? I guess we can. Should we? Do all of them have one? No, not all of them have them. Okay. So we're just going to ink this up, because I know for sure I want to use that on this one. So again, maybe to the side. What else do I want? Maybe the little stamps. So we're going to take that sentiment off. Sorry, I am totally off. And we can put this, maybe cut off. I feel like you guys might be a little too close. Let me go out just a tiny bit. There. Okay. Let's see. Let's put this on first. I think I'm going to put this towards the bottom. And then put this on the side. I'm getting a little bit of glue. I like to have my labels, I like to have them touch, so I feel like they're layered. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? But let's put this down. And put her here. I think that's going to be fun because they're all going to be different colors. So let's do yellow for him. No, actually, yeah, let's do yellow. Okay. I want this little strip here. And maybe this one. So let's put these. Let me bring my ink a little bit closer to me so I'm not reaching over. Okay, sir. Let's bring you away. Let's put it this way. Let's put this up here. And then maybe, yeah, that might be better. Okay, so let's put this down. We're gonna put the numbers on this side. I'm gonna put it right at that corner on the top layer. I'm trying to keep things within that top layer, but as you can see, that one didn't make it. So let's put this down. And we are gonna have it touching, but it's gonna be on the opposite side. A little bit off to the side here. And then we're gonna put him down. Taking away a little bit of the, ooh yeah, putting him right in the middle. Just gluing down. Right here. So you can still see some of the numbers. Ooh, that's fun. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, we're definitely gonna do purple for her. Let's see, what could we use? Maybe this one, right in the middle. That one, and how about, should we do the flowers or should we do, we'll do this. So let's do these. So I guess I'm trying to put two little pieces on each one, but this is gonna look super pretty. I think this one I'm gonna do the opposite. I'll put them right here. And even though I want them to touch, I don't think they're gonna be able to. You won't be able to tell anyways if I put her in the middle. You won't be able to tell. So let's put this here. Trying to line it up, make sure it's not too crooked, even though my cutting isn't my cutting isn't perfect, but that's okay. And then let me just ink around her just a tiny bit. I think my glue is starting to get a little bit clogged, and this always happens whenever I have it out too long. Okay, let's put her right there. Cute. Okay, now him we'll use green. I think I'm gonna need one more color. We'll use green for him. So let's use this top one. And do I want to use the stamps, or do I want to use I'm thinking, do I want to use the stamps or this one? Let's try the stamps. Okay, so I'm using him. I know that the glare is a little bit, it's not working in our favor right now, but let's see. Because it looks like he's supposed to be like leaning on something. Do I want to do that there? Do I want to just put one stamp so that you can, it looks like he's leaning on it? You know what I mean? His hand is supposed to be leaning on something. And so I kind of want that to work out. So I'm thinking I'm going to cut off just a tiny bit here. You know, when they're sitting or leaning, or looks like they're supposed to be hanging on to something, you kind of want them to not float around. I'm gonna have to cut just a tiny bit more. When you guys use paper dolls, do you pay attention to that? Is that something that you guys are like, oh no, his hand's out, it looks like he's got to be touching something, so he's got to be touching something. Because I am. When they're sitting, then I feel like they have to sit on something because they're sitting. Let's see, can I put him, can I put this behind? Yeah. Okay, so this is gonna go right at that corner. Here, right at this corner. And then this is gonna go behind him on this side. Come on. These are actually touching. And then we're just going to ink around him. And then we'll have a couple left, and then on the back, what I want to do is stamp and then add a little bit of, I want to put his hand, I want to put his hand right on there so it looks like he is hanging onto it. Okay, I do want to add a little bit of like maybe the Curator snippets or something on the back, Or we might just go back to these strips, so we'll see. But because of the stamping, I don't want to cover any of the stamping on the back. I love it so far. Okay, her, we're gonna do orange. So this is gonna be cute. So let's do, for sure, this, because that's the brightest orange on here. For sure this one, and maybe, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do the, I think I'm going to do this one. So let's do these. Yeah, we'll put this on the top and then we'll put this one on the bottom. I think because we're so limited on space, it's a little difficult to kind of see. Oh my gosh. And then put this here. Put that there, and then we're gonna ink around this. Put her here. Aw, isn't that cute? I'll show you guys up close in a minute. Zoom in just a tiny bit. Look at that. Cute, right? Okay, give me 1 second. Sorry, I had to unlock the door. Okay, now let's see. We've used red, green, peach. Oh, pink. We haven't used pink, so let's use pink for this one. We're gonna use pink for this last one. So here's this one. Let me zoom out. Okay, so we have, let's do, for sure, we're doing this one. And maybe what? Should I do the flowers? Because these, I feel like they're a little too light. Or we could do these. Yeah, maybe we'll do this one. So we'll do these two. Okay. We're gonna add glue on this. And we'll put this one down here. And then, no, this is gonna have to go this way. So we'll add glue here. I knew we were missing a color. That's gonna be pretty. Let me ink around just to get that white off, and then we'll be on to the other side. because there's so much detail in these, that's the only thing that's going to take a little bit longer. But the outcome is beautiful. Okay, so we're done with this side. Not cute? And then we're gonna go ahead and start stamping on the other side. So we're gonna go ahead and use our stamps. So let's see, I like to use words on this. Hold on just a second. Sorry guys. So we're gonna go ahead and use some stamps and we're gonna see which ones we're gonna use. I brought this one out, but I am thinking we're probably not gonna use this one. This is the field notes, but I think I wanna use maybe this one. We used this one last time. And then I also have, let's see, I also have my Eccentric. So you know what? Let's use the Eccentric, because last time we used the miscellany words. So let's use this one. So let's just go around and see which works. So we're gonna just try and find. Let me cover this up and get my black ink. While we're doing this, I'm gonna cover up my glue. And get my black ink. So let's do this. Okay, and then we're just gonna do one at a time. Let me scoot this up so you guys can see what I'm doing. So there's that one. I do have my wipes with me. And again, I do use baby wipes. So we're just gonna clean that off really quick. Put that back, and then let's see what else. I think we can use Condemned. Let's use that one. Get this. Put Condemned here. I want to leave a little bit of room so that I could add like little snippets around. Let's see, we can use Perfection. So I'm using Perfection here. That'll be pretty. We should put that one right in the middle. Make sure I have enough ink. So we're gonna do Perfection right in the middle. Pretty. And then let's see what other one we can do. Let's see. Should we do Transportation? Oh, let's do this one. This is a new set, guys, and so I'm using it up with you guys. Okay, let's do this. And put this here. Let's see, let's put this right on the bottom. And then what else? Let's use this round one. And this one says factory made. We'll put that one off to the side here. Perfect. Put that over here. Maybe we can add a little number on the top. So let's add a little number. Actually, a big number. Let's use this one. Ooh, serial number. Yeah, we'll put that one here. So it won't look so empty, even though we're gonna put little labels. Perfect. Okay, and then let's see. Over here, let's put should we put reserved? We'll do this one. This is the baggage. Let's see if it fits. Ooh, this one got caught really good. Okay. Put this one on the bottom. And then maybe a number on the top. You guys still with me? And then let's see, let's put a number. We'll put, let's see. It's hard to see these numbers from behind. Let's put this one. I think I should have tried to pull these apart before I brought it out. Let's put this one here. Up at the top. And then last one, and then we can decorate really quick. Just put a little bit of decoration on it. Let's see. I need to take these out and see what I could use. Let's do ticket or, ooh, this factory number. Did I put this one yet? I kind of like this one better. We'll put this and then maybe a word on top. Put that here. And then let's put maybe, yeah, I was gonna say, wasn't there one that was called ticket? We'll put that one here. Haven't used this one, right? No. There. Okay, we're almost done. Let me move this out of the way. I'll clean that up later. So now we're gonna get out our little snippets. Should we use snippets or should we use the little pieces that we had left over from what we used? Let's see. Let's bring these back over. Let's see, this is the pink one. So let's look for pink. That's this one. So we could use maybe this one, and then maybe a little pink snippet to go with it. I guess I could cut that down. I want to use more of the and then there should be a little pink one in here. I thought I saw some that had kind of like a pink little tone to it. Or I could just put that. Let's do that. Put that down first. Get my glue out again. And then put this down. Put that here. Stray that out just a tiny bit. And then, excuse me, my throat is starting to act up. What did I do with that little one? Do you guys see what I did with it? Oh, duh, it's right here. Duh. Okay, gotta ink it. And then we're gonna add this one just to the corner. And put that here. Okay, that was the pink. And then we're doing orange. So the orange was this. I think this one. Was this one part of the orange? I think it was. Or I could do a little strip of this. We could cut this. And then, let's see. Orange. This one's kind of orangey, but I think it's too big for that. Let's just do something neutral. So we'll do this orange. I need to ink this more. And then this one. Let me get my tweezers. This project is fun, but it's a process. It's a lot of little, I think the base, making the base and making the general part of it is super easy. The only thing that takes time is the decorating. Now this one was green. We do have green in here. This one's kind of greenish. So let's do that with, let's see what other green was in here. We could use this one. I am loving these little things. I am going to cut off maybe this part. Let's ink this. Put this down. Here. And then this might cover up a little bit, but that's okay. I don't mind it. So let's do that. Put that here, right there. Cute, right? And then we'll have one more step to go. This one is purple. And that's just doing the eyelets. But that's easy. So we like that. Let's see, do I have anything purple in here? I don't remember seeing anything purple. So we might just do just a regular. Yeah, we'll do this. But I kind of like that we're keeping the same color scheme on the front and back. I think I put a little bit too much glue here. So, my goodness. Okay, let me put a dot of glue here. Put that here, and then we'll go ahead and let's see, orange. No, yellow. I was like, wait a minute, we just did orange. We're gonna do yellow. So we got these. Let's see, should we do the little yellow flowers? And I love these, so you can always use these in other projects. So put yellow, and then let me see, do I have, oh, I do. Awesome. Oh, it might be too big, unless we put it more over here, off to the corner a little bit. That'll work. Let's just do it. That's gonna look good. I wonder if I have a smaller yellow one. Let me check before. Is this the same thing? Same size? And I have this, still too big. Trying to see if I have another one that's a little bit smaller in that color, but I don't see anything. So guess what? We're just gonna use it. We'll use this one. If you guys just want to fast forward this whole part, because I'm just doing the same thing on all of them, and then meet me back here when I'm ready to put the eyelets, so you guys could see that part. I'm going to put this off to the side just a tiny bit, just so they won't cover up the whole perfection stamp. Okay, then let's see, the last two are blue. Is it this one? Yeah, blue and then red. So blue, I think I'll use this. We'll use this up here and see. I do have some that have like a little bit of, yeah, like this one. It has just a frame. The trim is blue. And then we'll use this one for here. So let's do this. Put that here, and then we can put this one. Right, let's see, get this right. Put that here. Let's put a little bit higher, just so that it's not even. Okay, and then the last one, what did we say? It was red. Last one is red. I could just cut off the little flowers. What else do we have that's on red? Let's do this. The 1%, 10 days. What does that mean? And we can put that down here. And then I have this little red label. I can probably cut that down a little bit. Yeah, let's cut this down a tiny bit. And that'll be perfect for there. I'm just gonna cut right at the edges. So let's put this one down first. Get rid of this white. Oops, I put it too high. I need it lower. Yeah, get rid of that. And then this one is the last step. put this down. Just a stripe of glue there, and then put this here. Make sure they're touching. Okay, so let's look at the back. So we did these, and they're all with the same color scheme of the front, which are these. Pretty cute, right? Okay, now let's fold them back up. Okay. And then I'm going to get my corner punch. Let me move all of this stuff out of the way. Let me take my little snippets and put them back in before they get lost. Just trying to clear up just a tiny bit so I can get this situated. I'm not going to be using, well actually I am going to be using my glue because I'm going to show you guys a tip that someone taught me. Okay, so we're going to use the smaller side of this punch, and we're going to do 2 at a time. I already have it. Let me see. I'm gonna put this up just a little bit so that I know that they're at the same spot. Try to get it right in the middle. There you go. And then we're gonna do a couple more and try to get that center hole right where the other ones are. And then we're gonna keep going. Do 2 more. So we're just gonna keep going through the same punch, the same hole. So that they all line up. And then we have this last one. There. Now they're all gonna line up by the time we get our eyelets in. Okay, now let's see. Because these are pretty light colors, I think we're gonna do, let's do white. I don't use white very often, but we're gonna do it all on the same side. So we're all gonna do it all on this side. And all I'm gonna do is, oops, if I can get them to stay in. And then we'll put the string in, and then we can show the end result. I feel like these white ones are just a little bit softer than the other ones, which is a little weird. You would think that they're made of like the same material, right? But these get smashed a little bit easier. In just a couple more, guys, and then we're done. Last 2. I'm really excited about this one. This one is gonna look so good. And last one. There. So all of the eyelets are in now. And then now we're gonna string it. And this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna get my string from here. Maybe we'll do the beige. Or should we do green? Let's do the green. So I got this from Hobby Lobby when it was on clearance. And I think I like the green. So we're gonna get a pretty good size because I don't remember how long it was. Whoops. There it is. And then this is a little tip someone told me to put glue on this so that it stays put, and let it dry. Okay, we're gonna give that a minute to dry. And then in the meantime, I'm going to use, I hauled this in my last haul, and this was my my little threader that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I'm just gonna poke this all the way through, and a tiny bit is gonna poke out. So we're just gonna weed this through. Come on. There it goes. So you can see a tiny, tiny bit is poking out right here. And so that is where we're going to try and thread this in. And this is why we needed it to be, it's sticking to my fingers. There it goes. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Then we're just gonna put that through. And there you go. And now we're gonna tie it together, and we're done. Let's just trim this off just a tiny bit. Oh my gosh, you guys. Aww. Really? I love it. I absolutely love it. So here it is. Here's our little accordion. So let's do a quick flip through again. So here's the front. And then we're going to, let me undo that. And here we are. And then here's the back. And then we're back to the front. Is that too cute, you guys? There it is. I love it. I'm so happy with it. I know that this video is probably a little bit longer, but you know what? I absolutely love it. I'm obsessed with this, and I'll probably be making a couple more so that I can put on my thumbnail. But this is it, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys really enjoyed it, and I hope that you guys will try it out because these are so much fun. So thanks, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe before you guys go. And also, I have my email, my Etsy, so you guys can favorite it when I have my new collection to come out. I have my Amazon storefront if you guys want to check that out and see some of the supplies that I use. They're also in there. And my Buy Me a Coffee, thank you so much for those who have been supporting my channel. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. And let's see what else. I think that's it. So thanks, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.